Well, good afternoon. Well, let me also start out by congratulating the Council on 30 great years. Really appreciate the opportunity to speak here this afternoon. In my 10 minutes, what I'm going to highlight are some of the exciting opportunities in manufacturing. We heard that manufacturing is also at an inflection point for realizing unprecedented productivity from a lot of the technology advances that are occurring around us. So if you look at all of the different technology advances, if I can only advance the slide. So when you look at all the different technology advances that are impacting us, everything from ubiquitous connectivity to machine learning analytics, we heard a lot about some of these technologies just a few minutes ago regarding artificial intelligence, machine learning. Well, the excitement in the manufacturing area is around industrial Internet of Things. You've seen projections that by 2020, there will be 50 billion devices connected to the Internet. Out of these 50 billion devices, roughly half will be in the industrial space. Companies like Cisco and McKinsey have put out numbers for the new value that this connectivity is going to generate. And that number is around $15 trillion, just a smidgen less than our national debt. So out of these $15 trillion of new value, 27% is expected to be in manufacturing. That's the largest segment of the benefiting industry from industrial Internet of Things. So that's pretty exciting. If there really is roughly $4.5 trillion of value to be created from industrial Internet of Things, how do we go about it? What are some of the impediments? So I'm going to talk a little bit about not just the opportunities, but what are the areas where more innovation is needed, where more talent is needed, and better policies are needed to move forward. So let's advance to the next slide. The vision that manufacturing is moving towards, we call it the connected enterprise. Basically, what the connected enterprise means is bringing together data from your production sites, your manufacturing sites, together with data from your supply chain, data from your customer demand inputs. So taking silos in your enterprise and bringing them together and then optimizing production operations to get the most value from the data integration. So this is the simple idea behind connected enterprise. I'll give you some examples. Within Rockwell itself, we started our journey with the connected enterprise roughly about 6-7 years ago. We started out by rolling out an ERP system, which a lot of major companies have done in the past decade. And then it's not just the ERP system, but we started transforming the processes. We started working on people, processes, and technology to integrate the data and optimize our processes. So a real example, 7-8 years ago, when we promised a bill of materials, products, to a customer, roughly 82% of the time we delivered on time. So 28% of the time we missed the delivery, right? So that was not acceptable. Today, it's 98% of the time. So when we go and tell a customer that they're going to have this bill of materials, 98% of the time we deliver on time. How did we do that? Well, now we have full visibility into customer demand. We know what the customers are buying. We produce roughly 300,000 products. So knowing what the customers are buying, knowing where the demand is, allows us to produce to demand. It allows us to stock in our distribution center the products that are in the highest demand. It also gives the visibility to our sales force to sell products that are immediately available. We call them preferred products. It's no surprise that we discovered there are about 30,000 products that we sell 80% of the time. So having the visibility into what's being consumed, using that to drive the production processes, got us to the 98% delivery number using this connected enterprise concept. So when we talk to manufacturing companies and we ask them, what do you want from all this technology evolution? They come back with 4 things. They want faster time to market. From a new idea for a product, time to market, they want to optimize that. They want to reduce the cost of production. If you look at energy, electrical energy, roughly half is consumed by industrial operations. A 10% reduction just in the US alone is $6 billion in savings. So reducing cost is a major driver. The third area that most manufacturing companies will tell you that is a major issue today is uptime. They want to increase their asset uptime. If you walk into a food and bev type factory, most machines are only up 60 to 70% of the time. So 30 to 40% of the time, they're under maintenance. There may be clean in place. There may be routine updates to the machine that are being made. And that impacts productivity in a huge way. The final area that's really important for manufacturers is enterprise risk reduction. This is building in more safety and security. It's making their environment track and trace. So for example, if you have a recall, whether it's food or pharma, they want complete traceability throughout the supply chain. So it's another very, very important requirement that a lot of manufacturers have. So these are kind of the 4 drivers that we are focusing on. And a lot of innovations that are coming out of Rockwell are helping our customers achieve these 4 major drivers. So how do we see manufacturing evolving in the future? Today, we could say that to some extent, manufacturing is modular, and in its own way, it's secure. Of course, security is never done. We know that this is a continuous process. Where we're going in the near future is towards making manufacturing more predictive and optimized. A lot of machine learning, artificial intelligence technologies, analytics, cloud, mobility, all of these technologies will move manufacturing towards becoming more predictive and more optimized. Where we want to go towards, the long-term vision is to make manufacturing self-healing and self-optimized. That's kind of our long-term vision, probably 10 to 15 years out. But we see a change today. In the past, manufacturers were looking for low-cost labor. They were looking for tax holidays, as we heard this morning again from Intel. They were looking for locations where they could put manufacturing where they could benefit from these cost incentives. What are they looking for in the future? They're looking for putting manufacturing where there is technology innovation that will help them solve problems like safety and security while connecting the manufacturing plant with the IT systems. So as you build more connectivity, obviously there's going to be a major security risk. So they're looking for good solutions for safety and security, for integrating IT and OT securely. So they're looking for an environment where there's a lot of innovation in technology. They're looking for an environment where there's talent. Again, I don't need to repeat what we heard this morning about talent. There's clearly the change in the talent that's needed in plants today, manufacturing plants today. A lot of the jobs where a person would shovel coal into furnaces are gone. That's not being done today. So with a lot more automation, with a lot more networking, we need networking experts. We need security experts. We need people who understand how the internet works, that also are living in the plant environment. So clearly there's a change in the skill set that is needed. And we heard enough about education, so I'm not going to belabor that point. And finally, policies and procedures. We saw our luncheon speaker draw this exponential curve. If you look at manufacturing, that exponential curve is the growth in regulations. We need friendly regulations. We need friendly policies. And in the future, that's what manufacturing companies are going to look for. So my final comment, I would love for the council to continue its leadership of manufacturing. We need public-private partnerships. We need all your help. We need help to get manufacturing to its next evolution. And it won't happen without public-private partnerships. So thank you again for giving me the opportunity to talk this afternoon.